contest.
We welcome you back, Barry Tompkins, Rich Morata. We come now to our main event, also in the light heavyweight division. Merqui Sosa and Glenn Thomas, a last-minute substitution. We're going 10 rounds, and we'll see what Merqui Sosa has to face in Glenn Thomas. And you talked about this a little bit earlier, Rich, but the biggest question about Glenn Thomas is he going to be ring tough, ready to fight?
Right, because of the fact that, you know, he's only had the one fight in the last 3.5 years. That was recently. He fought in May 13th. As you see Thomas making his way, we'll take a look at his body. That'll give us the first indication, of course, when he gets in there. When we saw him in the dressing room, he looked a little bit soft. So we'll just have to see. Weighed in at 175 3/4. But keep in mind, he's only 5 feet 9. That's a lot of weight on a body that size. And you have to remember that Merqui Sosa is over 6'1". So in addition to that ring rust tonight, he's going to face a physical disadvantage, certainly, against Merqui Sosa.
And Thomas, not a guy who's really making a career on knocking people out. And so he best be ready to go to 10 rounds. Merqui Sosa, on the other hand, as we said, he's a guy who just can make you look bad. He gives you a lot of angles. He's got a lot of bang. He's got an excellent chin. William Guthrie was talking about it earlier, and we've talked about it, I feel, ad nauseum, but the simple fact is this division has a lot of talent in it. Here's one of the more talented.
This was always the division, the light heavyweights, where you couldn't make any money, where you couldn't get any notoriety, where nobody really cared, except maybe for the years that Archie Miller was the champion. But things are getting a little bit different now, and especially if they can make this tournament happen. I think it's really going to be one of the greatest things ever for the light heavyweight division.
I think so too. They were close to doing it a few years ago when there was Virgil Hill and Charles Williams and Harding from Australia and Michael Moore. There was also an attractive division then, but everybody starts to see stars in the eyes and think about making more money as a heavyweight. But this time I think it's going to happen. And as you said, it's one of the best divisions around right now. Let's get to the center of the ring and Thomas tries.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Wild Wild West Casino at Bally's Park Place, America presents, and the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proudly present to you our featured bout, which means it's fight time in Atlantic City. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the light heavyweight division, and the judges assigned are Gary Companeschi, Ed Leahy, and Daniel Shannon. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Benji Estevez. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing the white trunks and weighed in at 175 3/4 pounds. Hailing from Louisville, Kentucky, he has a professional record of 26 wins, 3 losses, with 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Glenn "The Promise" Thomas. And his opponent, fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner. He's wearing the purple trunks with white trim and weighed in at 173 pounds. Coming to us from New York, New York, by way of the Dominican Republic, he has a professional record of 30 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the current NEBF light heavyweight champion, Merqui El Carambo Sosa. Once again, your referee in charge, Benji Estevez, now to give the instructions.
Let's go. Come on. 2 seconds. Okay, give me a clean match again. Una pelea limpia. I want to wish you both luck. So suerte. Good luck. Touch up, guys. Talking.
Let's take a look at the Budweiser tail of the tape. And at 32 years of age, Thomas just a year older than Merqui Sosa. And of course, the big number is he is just about 4 inches shorter than Merqui Sosa. As we look at the rules here in the state of Jersey, 10-point must system, 3 knockdown rule is not in effect, but the standing 8 count is. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell. Only the referee can stop the fight, and the headbutt rule halfway through the fight, so that would mean 5th round. See how I figured that out? 10-round fight,
good, yes.
5th round. Yep.
I thought for sure you were going to miss that. All right, immediately Glenn Thomas is going to have to try to figure out something now to take away the physical advantages that Merqui Sosa holds over him in that height and reach. And you really saw when they stood up for the referee's instructions how much bigger Merqui Sosa is than Glenn Thomas, even though Thomas weighs a little bit more.
Nice combinations from Thomas. All those punches score.
Well, Merqui is not the hardest guy in the world to hit, but I'll tell you this, he's got one of the hardest chins in the world.
He really does. He's got a great beard, as they say in this sport. He's got some bang, too.
Yeah, his last fight was very impressive at Syracuse. He scored a TKO in 5 over Asluddin Umarov. He had Umarov down and nearly out in the first 30 seconds of the fight. He allowed Umarov back into the fight, but then finished him off in the 5th round. And I thought he looked very good in that fight.
I think Merqui Sosa is a guy who is getting better with age. When I first saw him fight, I thought he was a lazy fighter. I thought he didn't utilize all the skills that he had, and now I think he is, and he's really becoming the complete package. And as we said, he's a very difficult guy to fight because he's almost never right in front of you.
Yeah, and even if you look at some of his early chances in big fights against James Toney, for example, and against Michael Nunn, those were dreadful fights.
Well, Thomas is making this fight, at least in the first round. I will say that.
He's coming right after him. It's 52, fake him out.
That was it. A little headbutt from Thomas there also.
Well, you might want to throw some of that in as well. This is starting off a little bit rude in terms of the rules.
He's working that uppercut pretty well against the taller man.
In case you weren't with us for the open of our show, the only losses suffered by Glenn Thomas have been to world champions Roy Jones Jr., James Toney, and Mike McCallum. And Jones was able to stop him, although he screwed the ropes now.
Yeah, and that was a right hand, and even though I don't believe they're going to call that a knockdown, that definitely hurt him.
Thomas now trying to survive by hanging on. It did hurt him.
Let's go.
A lot of action in this round, I will say that.
Let's go.
End of the first round, the big punch thrown by Sosa. Collectively, Thomas did a pretty good job, actually.
Yeah, prior to that, he sits down though rather heavily on the stool.
To the body.
We go into his corner.
You hear me? The body.
Yeah, I think he's still feeling the effects of that.
Right? When you pop that uppercut in there, the right uppercut is land. Okay? You got to go with the right
Got a
hand
knockdown,
on
ref.
top of it. Okay?
Thomas was kind of dominating the round. That punch actually was glancing. I don't know really how it could have hurt him, but he didn't seem quite the same after it.
And you're absolutely right. It looked much more solid when you saw it in real.
I just came from it.
Take your time.
Hey, what's up, man? Okay. Seconds out, let's go.
Well, we'll see how he comes out for round 2. He looked a little weary to me between rounds, but they're telling him to back Merqui Sosa up.
Let's go.
Left hook from Sosa.
Sosa has such a weird style. He's so hard to fight. He's good puncher. He's dangerous. He forces the fight. It's that awkward forcing of the fight that makes him so difficult.
Well, you're always aiming at his shoulder. You know, he's never in front of you. He's always at an angle. Well, there he is in front of him.
No punching. Come on, boys.
Well, he gets hit a lot. I mean, even in the fight where we watched him in Moline win the NABF title with a 12-round decision over Fabian Garcia, if you remember, he was completely dominating that fight early and then suddenly found himself in a fight, and he started getting hit quite a bit. Although he won by a lopsided decision, he got hit a lot by basically a club fighter. Best wins for Sosa, and he's had some good ones in his career. TKO of former champ Prince Charles Williams, also beaten Tyrone Frazier, and a draw with another former champion, Steve Little.
Well, and as we said earlier, too, I really do believe he's better now than he ever has been.
Let him go, Glenn. Let him go. Let him go, Glenn. Okay,
Glenn,
hold on. You're holding too much. Let's go now. Come on.
Once again, a little warning. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, Thomas actually hurt himself there because he clamped down on the left arm of Sosa, but he left the right arm free, and Sosa just kept wailing away with the right.
Thomas just took a long look at his corner.
Look at guys. Come on.
Yeah, he looks tired to me.
It's working, man. It's working. All right, breathe. Let him go.
I don't know if he looks just about out.
He does. He absolutely does.
I don't think the 3-round victory over Lopez McGee quite got him ready for what he's facing in there with Merqui Sosa.
He looks like he's got very little in terms of legs. He's just leaning on his man now.
No punch, no punch.
See if he can get to the end of the round and get another 60-second blow, but he's still got quite a bit of time here.
And Sosa will wear you out.
Oh, 1 point. Holding. 1 point for holding. 1 point for holding. Stop the holding, man. Let's go now.
He's clamping down his arms and he's trying to hang on. The clock continues to run.
So that would make this a 10-8 round. But just judging by Thomas's physical condition, he's going to have to knock Sosa out to win the fight anyway. Sosa's starting to get a little disgusting.
Thomas looks as though he can really stand up. He does.
And I think Sosa's really getting tired of this act, to tell you the truth.
Just stay busy. Come on, man. This guy's full of shit, right? Don't do anything fucking stupid. No. Stiff jab. Stiff jab right hand. This guy don't want to be here. Stiff jab right hand. Get inside both hands to the body. He ties you up with one hand, hit it with the other. I told you.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Just quit. And his corner would not convince him, was unable to
Get us
convince
one
him.
in the news.
And so Merqui Sosa with his wife and Tommy Gallagher have to be happy. But Glenn Thomas came here for a payday, and I'll tell you what, he shouldn't get it. Let's listen in.
Get inside, both hands to the body. He ties you up with one hand, hit him with the other.
And that's what happened. And I would love to take credit for this line, but I can't. Just hand it to me. If Ali was the Louisville lip, then Thomas was the Louisville jip. You know what I mean? Back.
Test, test.
Thank you very much, my friend. And when I stay in the country for good, thank you for your support.
Breaking him out. I think we should get more fights in.
Test.
That's it.
Well, let's take nothing away from Merqui Sosa. He came out here, took care of business, did what he needed to do, but Glenn Thomas just plain quit and left the ring to a ringing ovation of boos.
Right here with
Let's go up to Thomas Tribal right now and get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the second round, the corner of Thomas has informed the referee to stop the bout with your winner by technical knockout, the NABF light heavyweight champion, Merqui El Carambo Sosa.
So Merqui Sosa has chalked up another win as he tap dances toward what he hopes is a light heavyweight title. We go up now to Rich Murata with Merqui Sosa. Rich?
Murqui, what's your secret? You seem to be getting better with age.
Well, you know, I have a better trainer here, Tamagala, you know, and when I'm in shape, I always going to win.
Well, now your opponent quit in the corner. It was his decision. His cornermen were trying to get him to fight, but he said that he didn't want to go anymore. It seemed to me you could almost tell that midway through the second round that he didn't want to fight anymore. Did you get that feeling?
Well, I figured out in the first round when I hit a couple times, you don't want to fight, but you know, you cannot make the fighter fight when they don't want to fight. You know, they try, but you know, I'm in good shape and I let her know in the beginning.
Obviously, it didn't bother you that you had a late-minute substitute. I know you had to be thinking about that a little bit before you came into the ring.
Yes, it bothered me a little bit, you know, but when you're in shape, you know, you take it what's coming, you know. So we make it, and we do it again, I will make it again.
Now, do you want inclusion in this light heavyweight tournament that is being talked about so much to get an undisputed light heavyweight champion?
That's we talking about with Dan Wilson. And American President, we talk about I want to get into that.
Well, it seems as though you're strengthening your cause. You're fighting, it seems, better every fight. Congratulations on the win tonight, Merqui.
Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to American President, Dan Wilson, and all my corner, Brad Goodman, and Tommy Gallagher. And we wait for the next one.
All right, we'll wait for the next one as well. Let's go back to Barry at ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Rich. Well, and Merqui Sosa taking care of business. What else can you say? He fought a guy tonight who didn't want to fight. Here for a payday, as we said. Shouldn't get that. Clay Bay and Smith when we come back.
Test.